listeners from Nigeria, Africa, United States, and around the world. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja, the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, and the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, broadcasting live from Houston, Texas. How did your weekend go? I hope you guys had a good time, had a great time, just like I tried to do, within my very, very busy schedule. I've missed you guys for a couple of days, but here I am. And what we are talking about today is going to be the illegal, unconstitutional, and unpopular change of the Nigerian national anthem by a rogue president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was not elected by the people of Nigeria. He was never elected. He snatched it, he shoved it, he took it by violence, he corrupted all our institutions, corrupted high profile traditional rulers, corrupted the corporate Nigerian drivers, he corrupted the youths of Nigeria, corrupted just everything. He corrupted the army, he bought them, and the first thing he did on arrival was buying himself a yacht when millions of Nigerians, I'm telling you about 99% of Nigerians, go to bed on flat, empty stomachs. This man is evil, and then he has, to be able to do what he does, a criminal gang of lawmakers that call themselves members of the National Assembly that he bribed on day one with a vehicle, SUV vehicle, that cost 160 million naira each, which is equivalent of 200,000 US dollars. And this is a country that has no electricity. This is a country that cannot boast of good roads. This is a country that cannot boast of good healthcare delivery system. This is a country that cannot boast of a good educational system. Now, national anthems are very, very emotional things, for every country. National anthem, in a country's national anthem is a spiritual thing. You need to tell you how evil this rogue and his gang of criminals are. They went behind the closed doors, ramped up the process, and within a few seconds, they came up, taking us back to the colonial era. Yes, to excavate a national anthem that was played, came about in 1959, just close to Nigeria's independence. This anthem was actually not written by a Nigerian. It was written by a foreigner, a colonial. It's a colonial legacy. Yes, a colonial worker. Yes, in Nigeria, a white woman, a Briton, was the one. So that they left their placenta in Nigeria. And in 1976, it was changed to not a very good one. Nigeria has no anthem, but I'm going to play the two of the anthems for you to hear and compare it with what is happening in Nigeria. If you are a Nigerian who has lived through the times, I've seen going to 4 generations of Nigerians. I have never seen this type of evil type of government that forced themselves on the people. 250 million people are gnashing their teeth. 250 million people are choking to death because of an evil man. And it's like, I don't want to believe that it's voodoo because it's not affecting me. But this man successfully put the whole of Nigeria to sleep. The intellectuals went to sleep. The professionals went to sleep. Everybody went to sleep. All right, now I'm going to play what they say is the new national anthem. This is from our colonial past. Listen. Yes, though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Yes, tribes and tongues in Nigeria differ. Yes, there's no doubt about that. But have we stood in brotherhood? Right from day one, the country was a bomb that started exploding. Right on day one. Right on day one. I'm going to play for you what one of those that they call the founding fathers of Nigeria had to say about a whole ethnic group in Nigeria right on day one. How do we stand in brotherhood? The so-called founding fathers were people who were not prepared to build a country. They laid a foundation of hell for the people of Nigeria. And 3 generations, now we are in the 4th generation of people going through that hell. And here comes this criminal, this drug dealer, this rogue, certificate forger, identity thief, who imposed himself violently on the people of Nigeria, setting aside our electoral laws, setting aside our constitution. It was a coup that brought him into power. The people of Nigeria did not vote for him, and the people of Nigeria have continued to reject him, though they are doing it the wrong way. They have not seen the reason to besiege him and get him out of that place. That is what it is now, because the armed forces are part of what is taking place now. They are lost. Nigeria has no army anymore. So we cannot rely on the army like the Burkina Faso, the Malians, the Guineans, and others did to set themselves free from criminals. Now, keep on. Listen. Really? Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. How many Nigerians who have had the opportunity to serve, including this thief? How many Nigerians who have had the opportunity to serve Nigeria have truly served Nigeria, our sovereign motherland? Oh my God, this country has suffered. Seriously. Nigerians are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Nice line. Which Nigerian has served this motherland? The way Nigeria. Tell me. Every country has one man that they will look up to, and they will be ready to die for him. Tell me any Nigerian leader that anybody can die for. Tell me one Nigerian leader that anyone. South Africa has Mandela. Mozambique has Samora Machel. Kenya has Jomo Kenyatta. Zambia has Kenneth Kaunda. I'm going to limit this to Africa now. Tanzania has Julius Nyerere. Ethiopia has Emperor Haile Selassie. Ghana has Kwame Nkrumah. Guinea has Sekou Toure. Mali has Modibo Keita. Egypt has Abdel Nasser. Where is the Nigerian one? Show me. You who know history, Nigerian history. Show me, where is the Nigerian one? There is absolutely none. They put a group of tribal soldiers together who started a war right on day one. And this is where we are right now. And they created a generation of very unpatriotic leadership that has wrecked Nigeria to its bone. Let's not pretend. We don't have a country. Nigeria is not a country, but it can become a country when and if the people of Nigeria decide that they have had enough. The sad thing about Nigerians is that the more punishment they receive, the more they adjust to receive more punishments. The Nigerian people are the most politically unconscious Africans because They are divided by tribalism. They are divided by regional and religious nationalism. Everything about them, Nigerians. I am a Nigerian, but I'm liberated. But my liberation does not make any sense if millions of Nigerians that I speak to have continued to resist the urgent need for them to liberate themselves so they can see clearly what has been happening to them and then project positively into the future. Nigerians are generally very, very, very tribalistic people. Nigeria has become a battleground for two imperial religious economic religions, not driven by spirituality, but politics. We are more Arabs in Nigeria. We are more Europeans in Nigeria than we are Nigerians, than we are Africans. This is the biggest problem Africa has. That is why Africa is schizophrenic, so distant from reality. African does not know who he is. He wants to be an Arab. He wants to be a European. And then his land has become a battleground for these two imperial civilizations, driven purely by economics. We are not who we are supposed to be. We are lost as a people. This is the greatest problem. And I think it is worse in Nigeria. It is worse in Nigeria. You know, prior to the 2023 election, we were talking about Nigeria. Somebody was telling us about Islam, telling us about Muslim ticket. What is the meaning of a Muslim ticket in a country that is supposed to be sovereign and one? What is the meaning of Muslim ticket? Why are we not talking about Nigerian ticket? For people who have risen above and beyond religious nationalism to drive a country through patriotism. Yes, it was a big battle. Muslim ticket. Now we had the Muslim ticket. Look at, and Gumi, that bastard, had the audacity to come out in a national daily. And another thing is the Nigerian media, who will publish all kinds of rubbish. That Christians are not good, cannot be trusted with securing Nigeria. Now they had a Muslim, hypocrites. They had a Muslim ticket. If you are a true Muslim, you should understand what I'm talking. You know I'm a diehard patriot. I don't see religion. I don't see tribe. All I see is the people and Nigeria. The hypocrites who are Muslims. Those who don't know God. Those with so much blood in their hands. Those who stockpile AK-47 in their mosque. Those who created Boko Haram. And now the banditry, economic banditry outfit. They are the ones that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one who says the Sultan of Sokoto. I'm talking about Gumi. I'm talking about all the corrupt emirs in the north of Nigeria. I'm talking about all the corrupt fake ulamas in the north of Nigeria that don't represent the interest of the people of Nigeria. They come in the name of the North, but they give absolutely nothing to the people of the North. They rip Nigeria off in the name of the North. But poverty is at its worst in that part of the country. Yes, over 20 million up to school children are on the streets begging in the north of Nigeria. India north of Nigeria. These are the people who have been producing the type of leadership that set Nigeria back for 63 going to 64 years. It is either they are empowered directly or they are there remotely, manipulating whoever is there. They were the ones who forced Bola, Ahmed, Tinubu on the people of Nigeria. And you know the funny thing, these people are a tiny, infinitesimal minority in Nigeria. How are they able to manipulate the whole of Nigeria is the question that nobody has been able to answer. They have their fans across Nigeria. They have accomplices across Nigeria. If you want to come to power politically in Nigeria, you have to belong one way or the other to these minority of people. How are they? And Nigerians are sleeping. Now, their table is about to turn. And I think that is why they have gone all crazy right now, declaring a violent war on the people of Nigeria. Let's listen. Hey, you talk about flag. Our flag shall be a symbol. Our flag has become a disgrace across the world. How is that a symbol? Yeah, you carry Nigerian flag, you carry Nigerian passport. You are already a criminal before trial. Our flag shall be a symbol. Let's go. Oh no. Truth and justice reign in Nigeria, and Nigeria is without electricity. Nigeria is without a good educational system. Nigeria has no infrastructure. Nigeria has no healthcare delivery. Nigeria has one of the worst human rights record. Nigeria is a place where people cannot open their mouth and voice their anger, their resentment. They cannot open themselves to express themselves without people being let loose. They have the DSS that does not work for the people of Nigeria. You have the police. You have the army now joining, all to attack the people of Nigeria. So where is justice? Where is the truth? And if Nigeria is a truthful country, or a country that is was built on the truth, why should a drug dealer be president of Nigeria? In a place where they have a Supreme Court, the Supreme Court became a rubber stamp of evil against our own Nigeria. Yeah, so that is justice. I don't understand that. What about the economic injustice? What about the brazen discrimination and hate against the Igbos of Nigeria? Is that justice? Why are the Igbos wanting to leave Nigeria? Yeah, why is it that since they ended their bloody campaign against the Igbo, the genocide that lasted between 1967 and 1970, the chemical engineering department at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, has remained locked. Why? Because they are so scared of the Igbos. And now you are telling me about justice? Listen. Where is the peace? There has been battle, but Nigeria has never known peace. Nigeria is not officially in a war, but millions of Nigerians die every year from being cut down through one type of violence instigated from that north of Nigeria against Nigerians from other places. Where's the peace? Nigeria does not have peace. No. Oh my God. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. Really? Nigeria's banner is filled with stain. Blood. Corruption. Evil. Killings. Kidnapping. Raping. So what banner is it talking about? They will hand on to the next generation, to hand on to our children a banner without stain. Nigeria is stained, and the stain will only be stamped out if the people of Nigeria can muster courage once more. Muster courage, break every boundaries that they created to make you see the difference that does not exist between you and your other Nigerians. To stand up and chase these people out of our space. That is the only way. I am not calling for a military coup because I don't believe that there's any man in the army right now that can be a Traore, that can be Thomas Sankara in Nigeria. I don't see it. If there is one, let him step up and do what he needs to do to save Nigeria. But what I want is for the people of Nigeria to gather and do this historic thing. That is the only way it will make sense. No man, no group of persons can assemble themselves without the authorization of Nigerians to change their national anthem. Even as bad as that anthem is, I stopped singing the Nigerian anthem about 6 months ago, the one that they just changed now, because I've sung it for a very long time. And every day I sing it, I get more angry because it's a sharp contrast to what I am singing. There is no peace, there is no justice. Why will I say that Nigeria is one country bound in peace and unity? Bound in freedom, peace, and unity. Nigeria has no freedom. Nigeria has no peace. Nigeria has no unity. Everybody hates everybody because they have been manipulated to behave like that. We need a leadership. We need a legion of die-hard rescue workers to bring the people of Nigeria together. Those who are sensitive, those who are sensible, those who are responsible to the plight of the people of Nigeria, those who are truly Africans, those who do not want to be Arabs or Europeans, those whose ideology are driven by what we are as the African people. Those are the people Nigerians need right now. Not reactionaries, not mercenaries. We have a legion of mercenaries now holding all of us hostage. We cannot continue that country like that. It's either Nigeria works through the act of the people, or we disembark the country and let those who want to build through countries go and build their countries. But these criminals, these rogues, don't want that. But they will have no choice now. We are reminding them they have radicalized a lot of us. We are capable of doing worse than they are doing. But for the love of our country and the love of our people, we have held ourselves back for a very long time. But we are not going to guarantee that we are going to continue to hold ourselves while they continue to kill our people. No more. God is angry with Nigeria. God is mad at Nigeria. God is not with Nigeria right now. So why are they calling the name of God? Do they believe in God? How many Nigerians are true Muslims and true Christians in Nigeria? How many are they? A true Muslim will not be, as a secretary to the federal government, corner 80 billion naira into his pocket, and then go a few days later to be given a chieftaincy title by the Emir of Kano. Yes. So what we have in Nigeria, mostly hypocrites in politics. A politician can never be righteous. Not in Nigeria. You have to drink blood. You have to have killed. You have to be corrupt. You have to be ruthless. You must have to be evil in order to earn that name, politician, in Nigeria. Politicians are thieves. They are evil. So why are they talking about God? Which God are they referring to? They're asking God to help them build a nation where no man is oppressed. How can an oppressor be praying to God, telling God this? Bola Tinubu is an oppressor. All right? The one that says he's a Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, is an oppressor. The one in the House of Representatives is an oppressor. All of them are oppressors. So which God are they praying to grant them this request? To build a nation where no man is oppressed. Which God are they talking about? They must be talking about another God, not the Almighty God that I know. No. God cannot be with a country through a Satan. These people here holding Nigeria hosted are children of Satan. They are not normal human beings. They are not human beings. They eat human beings. They drink blood. They do all kinds of things. They pound babies. Yes. Otherwise, how can you explain the gagging of the whole of Nigeria? Nobody opens his mouth in Nigeria. Nobody. Now, Nigerians are good at adjusting. They are adjusting towards 2027 when that is not even guaranteed. When millions of their compatriots are dying, you are telling me about 2027. How will a man who came through an unconstitutional process guarantee a free and fair election in 27? That you are so confident that you will defeat him in 2027, instead of gathering together and assembling and forcefully remove him. Yes, revolutions take place in countries. It took place in France. It took place in other countries. Why can't it be Nigeria? What is wrong with the people of Nigeria? Yes.
Oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Woo! Nigeria was blessed right from day one. But the criminals who call themselves leaders roll back the blessings of Nigeria. They roll back the blessings of Nigeria. So it's hard to really, for someone who is not a Nigerian, to understand where I am coming from. But whatever I'm telling you, the sun is in me, the light is in me. I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, from the heart, I am not a politician, from how I feel about what that country is, and from me being a victim, a serial victim of that country. Look at my hand here. I was stabbed in Kano, 1991, where people are so fucking stupid that everybody who is not a Muslim must die. Yes, that is how they wire the brain of their people. It's the elites, this oligarchy that must be crumbled. That's what they do, to keep their people ignorant, to keep them uneducated, so they can continue to manipulate them. Now, I'm going to play the immediate, I don't want to say immediate past, because I don't recognize any of the national anthems, but I'm going to play the one that was popular before now that they went back to the colonial era. So if they decided to go to the colonial era, maybe they should change our currency to pounds, and then so that our currency will become valueless, more valuable, and then maybe bring King Charles, bring his authority over Nigeria anymore, so that we can be recolonized. So we know that now we are a full British colony once again in the 21st century. So sad. Nigerians are regressing. Africa is regressing. This is a disaster. This is a disgrace. Listen to this. This is the one that they changed. Now, I want to say it because this one is, there's no voice thing on it. It's telling you, arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey. Who is obeying Nigeria's call anymore? Where are the patriots? Do you know anyone? If you're a Nigerian listening to me, who are the patriots in Nigeria? The patriots are those who are silenced. The patriots are those that the media in Nigeria will not allow to come up and express themselves. The media in Nigeria, the mainstream media will not give me the opportunity to express myself. That is why I created what I'm creating. And that is why I'm appealing to everybody, Nigerians, Africans, Americans, people from across the world. Subscribe to our channel to help us grow. So be that alternative, to the mainstream, corrupt mainstream media in Nigeria that will not give people, the men of truth, the access to speaking to the people of Nigeria. So he's telling you, arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey. Where Nigeria's call obey? Who's obeying the call of Nigeria? Where are the patriots? There are no patriots. The country has been overtaken by Janja weeds. Maybe they are the patriots. How can a thief be a patriot? In those days, growing up, thieves were always on the run. Yes, thieves were always on the run. They were so ashamed of themselves. They don't want to come out. People would pet them with stones. Now the thieves are the ones in charge of Nigeria. They have seized Nigeria at all levels. They seized at the federal, they seized the legislature, they seized the state, they seized the local council, they seized down to the local communities. Thieves all the way down. Yes, so thieves don't run. It is only we, the good people, are now on the run. I have to protect my life. I have to protect the lives of my brothers and sisters so that they will not attack them for speaking the truth. They have an army of the people, the army from the oppressed people who will kill for them. That is so sad. That is how bad. Nigeria is like worse than Colombia's in the 80s right now. Yes, Nigeria is worse than Colombia in the 80s. Anything can happen in Nigeria. Anybody can die in Nigeria. Anybody can be harvested in Nigeria, murdered, and then you never get justice. You are gone and gone. So that is why they are successfully repress the people into potatoes who cannot rise up their hand or raise their voices. Here. With love and strength and faith. Hey! Nigerians serving Nigeria with love, strength, and faith. But Bola Tinubu, oh my God, you are not my president, so I don't want to validate you. I can go back, to those before you. Jonathan, good luck. Did he serve Nigeria with his love, strength, and faith? And the country was the way it was under him. But Muhammadu Buhari, the grand commander of Boko Haram, he was a president of Nigeria and at the same time doubling as the commander of Boko Haram. Yes, those people who say they are supporting Nigeria to fight terrorism, they know him, that he was the chief commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. All right? So they will give him ammunition, and then it ended up in the hands of Boko Haram. He recruited Boko Haram terrorists into the Nigerian army to destroy Nigerian army. That's why the Nigerian army has become a very, very weak fighting force. Nigerian army cannot fight any force because their command and control infrastructure has been taken over by Boko Haram, by terrorists. They set up ambushes for innocent Nigerian young people who are in the army, who don't even know what's taking place. Many young soldiers who truly want to fight for their country have died through ambushes, set up by these commanders from the army. And then it's a big business. Arms deals, arms sales is a big business for them. That is why they cannot defeat Boko Haram. Boko Haram is fighting from inside the Nigerian armed forces. Yes, say it. Yes. Many people did not know. It got me into trouble with Facebook. That's why I don't care about Facebook anymore. Yes, I first raised this issue in 2019 about the involvement of France with Boko Haram. Within an hour of releasing a video, over 60,000 people viewed it, and it became scary. I think somebody called Facebook, they closed my account. And since then, they never opened my account. That's why I don't give a fuck about Facebook. Facebook should die, So that is how bad it is. And now, the truth came to the fore when General Tiani, overthrew Bazoum. Bazoum was inside it. Bazoum, Buhari of Nigeria. You see, Bazoum, President Bazoum of Niger. President Buhari of Nigeria were involved with France in Boko Haram. And what was it about? It's economic terrorism over the Chad Basin economics. That is what is happening. What is inside the Sambisa forest? One of the young guys, Major Mustafa, exposed a lot of things that was taking place, including how he went to Libya when Gaddafi was alive, and that tried to find a way to do that. That is why this fight against Boko Haram will not end, and it will not lead anywhere. It's a lot of mineral resources in that place. The Boko Haram is an economic insurgency. It has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with Allah. They know. The Nigerian ones are not, and they are from the north. All right, and there are elements from Niger, led by Bazoum. That was why it was great that these guys ousted Bazoum. When they ousted Bazoum, Buhari started having sleepless nights because he was taking Nigerians' resources to build infrastructure in Niger. Let him go to Niger now and be there. They will arrest him. Yes, he can't go to Niger, where his father comes from. He's not a Nigerian, but he was two-time Nigerian leader because of the foolishness of Nigerians. Here we are. So especially you Nigerians who live in the north, in the border towns of the north, you claim that you are all one. Namune, you allow terrorists into our country. Now you are suffering it. So keep on sabotaging Nigeria because you are all Muslim, you speak the same language. Duk Diane, Mune, how do they say it? Namune, that's what is killing you. They are destroying more of you than anywhere else. So it's time to be patriotic. It is time to lock down. Those people, they are beasts of many countries. They enjoy in Cameroon, they take from Chad, they come to Niger, they come to Nigeria and benefit. All of them have Nigerian passport, they have Nigerian IDs, with which to take benefit from Nigeria. You are there looking, and you can go there to do what they are doing. Stupid people. It's time, Nigerians. It's time. Now, let's go back to the national anthem. Sorry, a digression. Never be in vain. Now it's talking about the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. Now, who are our heroes? Who is the Nigerian hero? Tell me one Nigerian hero that you know. I know a few, very few, very few. Maybe if they are the ones that are the heroes past that they are talking about, great. But if they are talking about Ahmadu Bello as a hero, I would dispute it because he was not a hero. No, he was a grandchild of Osman Danfodio, the man who brought Islamic jihad, violent Islamic jihad, into the north of Nigeria that destroyed the Hausa people and have subjugated them for 220 years since 1804. And they brought that attitude to the table of the amalgamation treaty. You see, it was a business. Nigeria was not a country. It wasn't established as a country. It was established as a business. And those who we may now recognize as Nigerians at the time who signed the deals were all business partners. There were 6 of them. And they are signing with 22 British partners. Yes. And 2 of those signers from Nigeria were Osman Danfodio people, Osman Danfodio Fulanis. One of them became the emir, the Sultan of Sokoto afterwards. They were all business people. Those who came, they had an arrangement already before the signing. They were already in touch with the British people who helped them defeat and destroy the Hausa people. That is the problem with the British. And they still, as we speak, are maintaining that type of relationship with which they have retarded Nigeria for 63 going to 64 years. It's time. We have to slice it. We got to break that bond. It is either we break it or they go and from their country. Because they have retarded our country long enough. Yes, so who are the heroes past? The only heroes past, the few that I know, are General Aguiyi Ironsi, Adekunle Fajuyi, Patrick Nzogo, and perhaps maybe Ojukwu. Any other hero, maybe is going to be an ordinary person who did something extraordinary as a Nigerian, as a common Nigerian. But at the leadership level, these are the people who were leaders. Why is Aguiyi Ironsi a hero? Aguiyi Ironsi inherited a very bad problem. Very, very bad problem. The first, the most ranking army general in Nigeria at the time. Just coming back from Congo. And now this problem started. And what was the problem? Now, let the whole world know what was going on. Ahmadu Bello is a grandson of Osman Danfodio. They had always had this jihadist agenda. And when Usman Danfodio died, he was dying, he told them that they must take the jihad until they drop the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean, in the Niger Delta, where I come from. So for them, it is a generational battle that must continue until the mission is accomplished. And you hear why why we are having the problem we are having right now. That is part of it. And that mission is driven by economics, not because of God. They are hypocrites. They don't believe in God for the most part of it. So when shortly after independence, problems started in Nigeria. It started from the southwest of Nigeria between Awolowo and Ladoke Akintola, all right, who was the premier of the western region at the time. And Nzogo was the director of military intelligence. As an intelligence officer, he got wind of what was about to happen in Nigeria. They were about to start a jihad all over Nigeria. That was why he assembled the five majors, and they struck and overthrew the government. And the people behind it, Ahmadu Bello was the chief, and he instigated Akintola against Awolowo in the West. All right? So that was what happened. That was why that coup was. And you know what they came to do? They gave it a new name, that it was an Igbo coup. How would the Igbo people come together and decide to push for a coup against the whole of Nigeria? They forget that these people were young military officers, really good patriots who wanted their country to be together, who wanted their country to be well run. And then when they struck, who was to be the president or prime minister? It was Awolowo. Awolowo was a Yoruba man, not an Igbo man. Yes, that was it. Many people said, including Awolowo's confidential secretary, Mr. Odia Ofemu, he confirmed it in his own book that Awo was to be made the prime minister. So how was that an Igbo coup? And this coup, there were Hausa people, there were Fulanis actually involved. Now, the corrupt Nigerian media, always corrupt Nigerian media, run by criminals from the southwest of Nigeria, minimized the involvement of other Nigerians and then nailed it an Igbo coup. Now, it wasn't too long after they killed Agui Ironsi, who stood up and decided to take charge of the country. And then, with the kind of situation he found himself, he decided to unify the country. He wasn't a politician. And these people, these elements were already spoiling for war. They wanted to go. Murtala said, he was the one who said, let's Araba Nigeria. Araba means divide. Araba. They started pushing for the Araba. The British called to them, what you're about to do is very dangerous. Don't. They killed Agui Ironsi. Who were there? Danjuma. Who were there? Murtala Mohammed. Muhammadu Buhari was part of the coup. They killed him. All right? And they put Gowon. Gowon is still alive. I think the Almighty God has kept him alive to speak the truth. But that man is not speaking the truth. He's speaking in tongues, he's speaking in syllables. I hope that something will quicken him to speak entirely what he knows or what he knew about that coup and how he came to power. In 1975, he was attending a conference in Kampala, Uganda. All right? When they decided, Murtala now, from what I started hearing now, that he wasn't even a Fulani, but when they come, in order to belong, they have to change their name, they have to become Fulanis. He became a Fulani and then plotted the overthrow of Gowon in 1975. Not quite a year, on February 13, 1976, there was a counter coup from those who were loyal to Gowon, and they slaughtered him. And then during what they call civil war that I know was genocide, Murtala Mohammed killed thousands of Asaba men in my present-day Delta State. My brothers and sisters, he killed thousands of them. He was lining them every market day and was shooting them like shooting lizards. A war criminal who was not tried. Then he came back and became head of state of Nigeria. God wasn't stupid. And then a counter coup came, and then he was butchered for his wickedness. All right? Now, Nigeria did not call that the coup that brought him to power a Fulani coup. All right? Then Obasanjo took over from him. In 1979, Obasanjo handed over power to Shehu Shagari, a Fulani man from Sokoto. For 4 years, he ran the country aground. All kinds of criminal things. They want to always lead, but they don't know what it takes to lead. When they lead, everything is about the North. They come in the name of the North, but they give absolutely nothing in the North to the people of the North. They corner everything into their pocket. When Shagari was president, it was Umaru Diko that we're hearing all the time. The guy was nasty all over the place. Until Buhari came. Yes. 1985, December 31st. He did a palace coup. Buhari, another Fulani, did a palace coup to remove Shehu Shagari. He gave all kinds of excuses. Buhari was flogging Nigerians like kids. All right? They didn't call that a Fulani coup. The Southwest media did not call it a Fulani coup because they had always had this conniving thing since 1904 from the Amalgamation Treaty down to the independence and down to when they declared a war against the Igbos, who did nothing but ask a question, why? Why has always been the reason why the Igbos are in trouble. Because they don't like injustice. They were asking questions. Why is this country being run this way? That has always been their problem. But the elites from the Southwest and the Fulani elites will always come together like they did in 2023, as exposed by El Rufai. Yes, they will always come together. And the sad thing that they always play a second fiddle. Now, that happened. And then in sometime in 1986, August 1986, after Buhari was removed in August, then came Babangida. Babangida he came in the name of the North like he's a Fulani man. That's all they do. He ran the country aground for 8 years. Actually, he institutionalized 419 fraud in the country. Yes. He wasted Nigeria's money, over 400 billion naira at the time, on endless transition to civil rule that never was. Until the people of Nigeria, for once, found a way to force him out. They forced him out, and then he put a trap. All right, a trap. Now, Seneca, a Yoruba man, was interim head of state. Right? It wasn't a few months. Abacha if he was serious about leaving, he could have taken Abacha out. He kept Abacha. Abacha was looking around the corner like a hawk. And then Abacha jumped on Shoneko and took over power. Yes, Abacha was there till 1991. He won't leave. He started wanting to become a civilian president. See how mischievous Nigerians were. You know, we don't like history. That is why they removed history. But we know the history. Some of us know the history very well. 5 political parties jointly adopted Abacha as their presidential candidate in Nigeria. Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria is a great country. The people of Nigeria are mostly jokes. The political class in Nigeria is a joke. And that is why they should all be leveled. If we continue to allow these people, in fact, they have finished the country. 5 political parties. So why did they exist? If the reason for their existence was to make a criminal, a dictator, the presidential candidate of their parties, they made him their president, all of them, all 5. And then he died. With I didn't want to go to Abiola thing. What happened with Abiola and all that, the June 12th election, that happened before he came to power. Then the 2 of them died. And then they brought Abdul Salam, come in the name of the North. Abdul Salam wiped out what was left of Nigeria's foreign reserve before Obasanjo came. Obasanjo came, Mobutu Sese Seko of Nigeria. He was there for 8 years. 8 years. He was like, he didn't respect nothing, but they say he's a good leader. I don't know, I'm trying to see the good leadership in him. He didn't want to leave. Then as he decided to leave, he brought a man, a good man, very good man. I love him, But this man was sick. The man who had, Yaradua had end-stage renal disease. He was battling for his life. They brought him. He knew that he was going to die. They brought him. Within 2 years, he died. And then Jonathan Goodluck, who never dreamt about being a president, came. It was like they handed the presidency to him on a platter, even if there were resistance by the hawks from the north, who thought that they own Nigeria. We had to force them, to give power to Jonathan Goodluck. What did he do with the power? He served Yaradua's 4 years, and then won a standalone election, which was a blackmail of the whole of Nigeria. Because, okay, all of us said, no, he has to be from there. He has to be him. Nigeria voted for him. 4 years. Disaster. And then Buhari came. All of us were angry with what Jonathan did. We didn't know that a terrorist was waiting in the corner. He was running, he has been running 4 times. And that 4th time, the terrorists took over Nigeria. And then this is where we are with it. 8 years of unbridled terrorism. Destroyed the economy, destroyed infrastructure, destroyed everything he met. And then when it was over for him, he handed the country to a drug dealer, a certificate forger, an identity thief, paired with a terrorist, in whose house, those who bombed the United Nations building in 2011, that killed over 26 local and foreign workers of the United Nations in Abuja. They caught them in his house. A terrorist. I'm talking about Shetima. Yes. So we have a drug dealer. We have a fraudster paired with a terrorist ruling Nigeria. And you know what? The defense minister of Nigeria is a terrorist, a bandit. Known, caught. It was not hidden. Even the serving governor of Zamfara state said it. Yeah, his own state, the state that he left as governor. That is how bad Nigeria is right now. Terrorists have taken over our country. And they don't want us to say it. They don't want us to talk about it. They don't want nobody to say anything about it. How can we live in a country like that? This is the cross of this. Now they are changing our national anthem. Let's finish this national anthem that they are, the one that they changed right now. Yeah, so to serve without our might, one nation bound in freedom freedom, peace, and unity. Oh my God! Where is the peace and unity in Nigeria? Where is the freedom in which Nigeria is bound? Nigeria is in tatters. Nigeria is in disarray. This is a junk. I can't sing any of these national anthems. No Nigerians should sing them. And I'm happy a lot of Nigerians are rebelling. They can't stand up. This is rubbish. Why is it coming now? You forced your way into Nigeria. You wanted to be president. So this is what you are counting as achievement? How dare you change a country's national anthem without involving the people on whose life it revolves, around whose lives it revolves? How did you get the lines? Why should we, even if we had to accept the colonial one, we deserve respect. We deserve to be informed. We deserve to be part of the process. This is a serious constitutional issue. This is a huge violation. It is already painful that you are illegal and illegitimate. You are getting worse. Now, Nigerians, what are you waiting for to boot this man out? What are we waiting for to remove these people, chase them out of where they are? They are aggravating us. They are endangering our lives. They are endangering our country. They are endangering our future. Why should we have them as our leaders? We'll be right back, and I will play for you the foundation of the disaster of what we call Nigeria right now. Here, you are going to be hearing Ahmed Bello speak. On day one at independence, he was speaking to a British BBC reporter. Listen.
Within a year, they will try to emerge.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions, coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
One thing...
Did you hear that? That is a Nigerian leader right at independence. And you call that a nationalist? You call that a leader? You call that a human being who has heart, who has feelings, who really cares about one Nigeria? Amadu Bello never believed in one Nigeria, like Awolowo never believed in one Nigeria. But his was worse. He expressed it, not just through action or through body language. He voiced it openly, his disgust for the Igbos, that if you give them a liberal position, in the next 1 year they'll be working hard to be the the head of the leader. What is wrong with that? In a country now, who is benefiting? And that was how he shot the country in the head. The reporter was asking him, don't you think that this thing run contrary, to, the impact negatively one citizens in a country? He didn't care. He said, yes, he may. And then he went on to say how many Northerners were employed in the East or Southwest. How will they employ them if they did not travel there to seek employment? He made them redundant. He uneducated them and made them fools that he could manipulate. So what is the problem of other people for their thing? The Igbos who went there, when I was there, all of us went there with education to impact the people, to teach them. And because they don't have enough people, they are Nigerians. We became independent the same day, but they refused to educate their people. They benefit by keeping them illiterate. They benefit by keeping them ignorant. Now the ignorance has become dangerous, and it's impacting our national security. That is why we are having all the type of violence we are having in our country. Now they push them to push their agenda of the economic Usman Fodio jihadism. Yeah, that's where we are. And then the reporter asked him another question about the terms of contract. He said, if they cannot immediately find a national, they will first of all hire an expatriate. That's a white man over a black man. If they can't find an expatriate that is white, then they will hire a Nigerian from somewhere else on contract. Welcome to Nigeria. We can't continue like this. And this is the reason, years after all this, looking at the way Nigeria is, that is the reason we are coming with the Open Nigeria ideology to reset Nigeria against the tribal restructuring that people are agitating for. Because I live in the United States, I've been through America's 48 of 50 states. And I've never been rejected the way I was rejected in Nigeria, my own country where I was born. Yes, because of my state of origin. And I've been to Ohio. I did some work in Ohio. I worked in California. I worked in Georgia. I worked in Alabama. I did some work in Mississippi. I've done some work in Louisiana. I've done some work in, a lot of places across this country. And there was never a time my issue of citizenship or nationality was a problem. Nobody cared. What they cared was bring your brain. What can you do in this place to make whatever we want you to do happen? And that was it. Now, with all the quota system, with all the retarding policies that segregate, that discriminate against the best. Look at where Nigeria is. No electricity, no infrastructure, army rundown, no healthcare delivery system. Nothing is working. Terrorism has taken over. Our people are dying en masse. Mass youth unemployment. I tell you, over 50 million Nigerian youths are unemployed. And you know how dangerous that can be. And these youths really constitute over 71% of the entire country's population. Yes, we are talking about 130 million youths in Nigeria that are either unemployed, underemployed, or unemployable because of this tragedy of leadership. So why are we going to continue to fold our arms and wait until God comes to rescue us? God is not going to come. The action to save that is required to save Nigeria must come from Nigerians. It is either we decide now from across the traditional, religious, cultural, and tribal divides that, look, we are here. We are Nigerians, and we must make the best out of Nigeria. And a step that we must take is to unite ourselves against those who are oppressing us. Less than 200,000 people are doing this to 250 million Nigerians. It's unfair and it's unacceptable. For you Nigerians who think that God is going to come down, you have been praying over, you pray without action. God is not coming. Jesus will never come. Muhammad will not come. Allah will never come to save you. It is you who is going to save yourself. Because God gave you right, a set of rights. They call basic human right, off of your dominion. The right to life, the right to choice, the right to freedom of expression, the right to freedom of association, the right to worship, and the right to self-determination. It is you that is refusing to assert those rights. It is your fault that Nigeria is the way it is. It is your fault that you are not standing up for your right. It is your fault that every 4 years when you have an opportunity to choose, you choose criminals. It is your fault that you are now where you are, beggars. It is your fault that you are not able to go to sleep with food in your stomach because of the wrong choices of leadership you have made. Now is a moment for you to reflect. Now is a moment for you to think. Now is a moment to look at your children in their faces and ask yourself a question. What will be their future if you don't take action now? Goodbye, Nigerians.